she is like she is awesome.
Yes,
she is awesome.
Okay,
I'll get her name, but
I also love the Nigerian team.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Naiman Ruta. I'm 17 years old, and I'll be talking about soccer.
Okay, all right, let's go.
All right, so the 2022 Women's World Cup. So for the first time ever in the FIFA Women's World Cup, 3 African teams qualified for the knockout stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nigeria, Morocco, and South Africa.
What about Jamaica?
Jamaica, we're
the
talking
Caribbean.
about...
Okay,
Africa.
it's
Yeah,
debatable.
yeah, debatable,
Okay.
but they did qualify, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so Morocco are looking like the strongest team right now. They had the best record comparing to the 3 teams.
Okay.
Morocco had the best record with 2-0-1, so 2 wins, 0 draws, and 1 loss.
Okay, and they beat Colombia.
They did beat Colombia, and they actually upset Germany, because Germany, they finished 3rd in the group.
Wow.
They finished 3rd in the group. Number 2, Germany.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's unbelievable stuff, yeah. And as big as, because also Nigeria, they upset Canada as well.
Mhm.
But I think that the Morocco story, man, is wow.
Yeah, that's
It's
amazing.
incredible.
And you know, with the Morocco story, you know, like I have to point out, you know, like there's this one lady who was wearing a hijab.
Yeah.
And this also, you know, like just you know, like not to take away from the soccer story, I think it's important for people to understand, because when people saw her picture,
Context.
there was confusion, you know. So some people were saying, you know, oh my goodness, she's being oppressed. Why is she being forced to wear this? And you know, like we're like, the team is actually not wearing hijabs. You know, yes, they're a Muslim country, they're not wearing hijabs. She has come out and said, I want to wear a hijab, and they gave her the opportunity to do that. I did see some forums where people were even starting to make comparisons with Afghanistan, and that's when I started realizing that social media sometimes is not the best place to go.
No, it's
when
not.
you're looking
They're
for
also
information.
culturally out of touch, and I would have to applaud Nike. I'm not really big on shouting out specific companies, but Nike has a whole collection for hijabs, sports specific, you know, which is important for those of you who don't know. The type of material for hijabs are typically cotton materials. They're not necessarily the most comfortable, so you wouldn't necessarily wear a cotton shirt if you can wear like an Under Armour shirt that's going to be breathable and you know, the sweat part of all of that. Nike was one of the first ones, and they did that with part of their women's launch on products, athletic attire, to have the hijab, and that's something that we're seeing more mainstream. I think we're going to see more of it.
Yes. All right. Back to you, Naaman.
All right, so the U.S. Women's National Team finished 2nd in their group. For the first time in 12 years, they finished 2nd in their group, and yeah, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable because it's been 12 years. It's been 12 years since the last Women's World Cup in 2011. So
are they,
that's the 3 World
do you feel like they're on their way out?
I don't think they're winning this World Cup because the expectation, because they're the number 1 ranked team, but I don't think they're winning this.
Do you think at least they'll proceed beyond the round of 16? Who are they playing in the round of 16?
I'm pretty sure they're playing.
Is it no, I wanted to say Sweden, but I'm not sure. You know, we can
South
check.
Africa, maybe, I think.
We can check to see. Yeah, maybe
Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden.
Sweden.
Is the one they're playing in the round of 16.
I think Sweden are winning.
Yeah, so that's gonna be tough competition.
Yeah,
you know, it's gonna be tough competition. I mean, I'm still putting my money on the US, but like you said, it's gonna be very difficult for them to win this World Cup.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. And another thing is that we're definitely seeing the inexperience from this team because throughout this group stage, they've only won 1 game, 1-2-0 record. So 1 win, 2 draws. The draw first against Netherlands and then the draw against Portugal.
Yeah,
and they had 17 shots that game compared to 6. So we saw them attacking, and we didn't see the result.
But not finishing.
Not finishing, exactly. So
it's. And I think in one game the goalpost was their friend. Was America's friend.
Which
Netherlands?
Game? Against the Netherlands.
Because they were chopping that goalpost. The goalpost.
Yeah.
I think it was MVP.
Yeah, it's really there's real like inexperience in this team, and what the players need to understand is to play their roles, and that also comes to the coach, who also doesn't have inexperience as well. He has no experience, and he's actually a new coach, Vlatko Andonovski.
Okay.
Vlatko Andonovski, yeah. He was recently hired, and Jill Scott was the coach before that, and she was the one that led them to back to
one of the most winningest coaches.
Yeah.
And why did they let her go?
They let her go because she retired. She
retired.
She backed
Okay.
down. Yeah, she backed down.
But there was a lot of stuff going on
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
behind the scenes. So.
Okay. All right.
Now, can you guys talk about how the African team upset Brazil by tying them 0-0, which I think was a win for Jamaica.
Oh, you're talking about Jamaica.
Jamaica, Brazil.
Yeah.
Wow,
It was a tied game.
I saw Brazil in the first game against Haiti. They won 5-0. But then after that, I mean, wow, they lost against France, and then they tied against Jamaica. And Jamaica, they're a solid team as well.
Because I think a sleeper team. I think Jamaica is a sleeper team because having watched, because I rewatched the Jamaica Brazil game. Man, Brazil was really pressing, but their goalie was phenomenal. Jamaica, their defense was exceptional, but also Jamaica are not just being caught flat-footed because they were also making runs. They were also attacking. You know, like they would get a chance, then they counter.
Yeah.
So
So
you know how to play against big teams.
Yes.
The France game as well was a really good game.
Yes,
It was a really good game.
it was.
Yeah.
It's only that this time the time difference 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. and then you have to wake up to go watch. You have to go and wake up and ngangana with the routers and carrier and servers like Omosh. But it would some, and I think now, especially for the round of 16,
Yeah.
it is one of those you're like, okay, maybe you can spare until 1 o'clock to watch a game.
So now there's no clear favorite. Is there like any particular clear favorite?
There's
No,
no
man.
clear.
I don't think there's a clear
This is an
favorite.
interesting World Cup. There's no clear favorite, and usually the clear favorite is the U.S. The U.S. They're always number one ranked in the World Cup, and then there's always like Germany and Sweden. But Germany, they got upset, and Sweden, I mean, they're going up against the
What
U.S.
happened to Japan?
Yeah, Japan. What about Japan?
U.S. and Japan was a thing. for
Japan
a
are in the-
couple-
No, Japan have been playing well.
the
They have been
last-
playing well. They have been playing well.
They
but
are in the next round of 16, and they're facing Norway.
But are they also categorized? Could we categorize them as favorites, or that would be a stretch?
To be honest, no, I wouldn't say,
I can't say
because
yeah.
so far I think the US is the one. US, Germany, Brazil have always been the teams that are
The teams
favorites.
to beat, yeah.
Those are the teams to supposedly win. Like even the last World Cup, Brazil was highly favored. It was going to be actually between Brazil, the US, depending on how, and France at one point in time. So it's hard to say in this right now with the teams that are there.
Yeah.
Any team can do anything.
Wow.
And the reason why I
would
brought
say-
up
Go ahead.
And the reason why I brought up U.S. and Sweden is because they're two favorites. They're two favorites, and they're going up against each other already in the round of 16. For me, that's what I expect as like a semifinal or quarterfinal type of game, where you're seeing those two teams already facing against each other in the round of 16. So you're gonna see two big teams go out. So this is really for anybody. It's really for anybody.
Okay. So out of the 3 African countries, let's also throw in Jamaica, like in there for argument's sake.
Insisting.
Out of those 4 African countries, if you were to pick one to make it to the finals, which one would it be?
Morocco.
Okay.
Because we saw even in the men's World Cup a few months back, they surprised the world. They shocked the world, and they went to the semifinals. I actually thought they were gonna go to the finals, but France and Mbappe were too good at the time. But yeah, I see Morocco because it's the men's and women. Now that I can see the spirit in them, and I definitely see them, fighting for that final place. But
Now
they can definitely go far.
Wait a minute. Mubelo is asking about here. Don't forget China. In what context?
As a favorite.
As a favorite.
China.
Where,
Have they ever?
favorite in what context?
they-
Maybe in
No,
Beijing.
the women's team has been, like there were years when they were actually very good. So I haven't seen China play in this
But if you
particular
bring
World Cup.
China up before you bring Japan up, that's because Japan has done successfully more recently.
To me, Japan on paper is more of a favorite
I agree.
than China
As far
is.
as records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than China, and even just based on, with soccer, sometimes you just go by the way you see them play, not even by records, because this record sometimes is what gets people shocked.
And I think it's an American thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to records.
Yeah, they
it's all
love
about
records.
records. Or these guys have a certain, they have this type of percentage win against this team for however long or whatever.
Yeah, they'll unleash some serious stats, and then their team loses.
When the rubber meets the road,
Yes.
vindu vichenjanga.
Yes, so that's
Things change.
Yeah.
So it's not always about records, because on that day, like I always tell my daughter, when the soccer gods decide they are with you,
Yes,
they are with you.
they're with you.
If the soccer gods decide we have abandoned ship,
Yeah.
that's it. Case in point, sometimes hitting the crossbar, like whatever you do. There's some games when you start, even if whichever team is playing, and you can just see the chances over the bar. Great save.
Yeah.
This, that, the other. You're like,
And then there's another team that will get just 1 or 2 chances and they convert, and that's what wins the game.
and that is it.
Yes.
So I think, and especially, I don't know, you guys get a chance, watch Jamaica.
Okay.
There's a way Jamaica hustles and play, and especially the center forward. I can't her name, and I think she plays for Manchester City.
Man City.
Yes, she is like she is awesome.
Yes.
She is awesome.
Okay.
I'll get her name back.
I also
Superb.
love the Nigerian team.
Yes,
And I love, like their attitude, like with a lot of these African teams, the African teams that have performed the best are those teams that come with a happy attitude and an apologetic
Africa.
African
And
attitude.
passion.
South Africa.
yes.
South Africa was viral.
Yes.
When it came to their entrance,
Yeah.
the
So-
energy they have in the locker room.
So to me, I actually have South Africa in the finals. That's just maybe it's an emotional pick that I'm making, but I think I love the Nigerian team, but I'm looking at South Africa in the finals.
That's an interesting pick because they had an interesting game against Argentina.
Yes, they did.
They did.
Yes, they did, and I think they learned their lesson.
Yeah.
Well, I hope, because the game.
Yes, they were winning that game.